There was slight damage on the Ajax and the Kellys, but nothing like the damage done to the Exeter. When your own guns are firing, that shakes the ship up. The main damage was the forepeak of the ship. One chief stoker, he went to run up onto the forepeak with a hose, and he left a stoker with where the valve was, and he said, "I'll shout to you to turn the valve on." But when the stoker looked up, this chief had disappeared. A shell had come over and whooshed him over the side. All the casualties were in the forepeak because that's where the damage was. And 3 of my old mates who joined the Navy with me were killed.
The Stuka dive bombers were coming over fast and furious then. The scream of the engine was more terrifying than anything else. And we were always kept running up into the sand dunes to get out of the way of them. They were machine gunning anything in sight. As the waves were coming in onshore, the bodies were rolling in where they had been shot in the water. That was bad, that was terrible. And eventually we moved on down and we went on to the North Mole. And at the end of the North Mole, HMS Worcester, a destroyer, pulled in alongside. The Navy had put a rope ladder down for us to try and get onto it. Chaps were jumping on to try and catch on the rope and were dropping in the water. So I didn't risk that. I just jumped onto the deck.
I could hear the firing and that, and shelling one another. I didn't think we were going to go in action, but we did. Blinky and I got, my nerves. I didn't want to do that, but still I had to do it. We dug these trenches all the way around, and these Italians, next morning, they come along with these old-fashioned planes and bombed us. Out of a trench, I had the blinky ladder done me ears, and I had a piece of shrapnel go through my knee. It was all like the raw meat.
I was very good at spotting. I found learning the names of the bombers and all that sort of thing was easy. Whatever we were doing, we would run for action. The girls who were on height finders would start reading off the height they were coming in, how many were coming in. As soon as all that came through onto the predictor, I lined up all the dials. And when all those dials were the same, I said, predictor on target, fire. Next thing was bang, and this plane exploded, and down come the pilot or whoever it was in flames. We're jumping for joy for a minute or two, and then that's a man. And we all went silent.
In the battlefield, you had different orders all the while. I was a driver, so I was on the go all the while. And there was a bombardier sat by the side of me, and he was directing me just where to go. And they come over blanket bombed, and I got hit, he got killed, and that was it. I was stripped of me clothes. It blowed all my clothes off, bar a bit of me sock. Took me thigh right out to the bone. There was an American doctor, and he done no more than put a handful of maggots in my leg and sealed it over so that they'd take the gangrene away. Because out there, you ain't got to be out there long before it turns gangrene. But I was in hospital for nearly 13 months, must have been, before I could even stand at the bottom of the bed and do knees up and knees down.
There was 15 merchant ships, there was 3 aircraft carriers, there was 4 or 5 cruisers, God knows how many destroyers, you know. And this convoy, as the skipper said, has got to get through. The German planes were coming from North Africa, which was still in their hands, and also from Sicily. Like, we were attacked constantly. There were submarines, planes laying mines in front of the convoy, as well as dive bombers and Dorniers attacking from the air. And there was 5 Stukas came over. 300-500 pounders came aboard, you know. Of course, it blew the aircraft lifts up like corks out of a bottle. And it killed 64 men, and the ship was, she listed, and then she set on fire. So we were sent up then to help to collect the bodies, like, you know. The chief said, put them in that bag. Ooh, it was mayhem.
Bomber Harris came to our station to give us a pep talk. He said to us, our job to go out and flatten as many places as we can. The worst missions were the Ruhr Valley. That's where we lost most planes. It was a dangerous one because it was heavily guarded. There was anti-aircraft fire, a lot of machine gun fire, and there were fighter planes. So you had a pilot, the navigator, a flight engineer, and the wireless operator, upper turret gunner, and the tail gun. 7. So every time we lost a plane, we lost 7 trained men. Some people said the aircrew had all the glory. Well, they thoroughly deserve it. The aircrew were risking their lives every night.
Sicily was quite an exciting battle, and we sorted it out. 1 or 2 people shot at us, but we soon got rid of them. We were told to occupy a bridge, and we had to blow it up a bit to make it unusable by the Germans. And it was when we were withdrawing again to get ready to go on up to Italy that the enemy decided to chase us out, but we got rid of them fairly quickly. I mean, it was all a bit frightening sometimes, but having been well trained, we retaliated fairly sharply. I can't remember being particularly worried.
There's a clanking noise in front of us. Oh my God, Ron. I said, what's up? He says, there's 2 Tiger tanks making straight for us. So we're going to get shot or run over or what? What do we do? Here we are with a Lee Enfield rifle or a Brengle there against those enormous monsters. Don't know what to do. But to the left of us, which we didn't know at the time, were the Irish Guards. They were part of our brigade too. They had an anti-tank gun, which weren't very effective against the enormous Tiger tank. But if they hit the track, they could stop them. And what they did, they shot and stopped one of these, the front one, and the other turned around and went.
I think the worst thing was when I heard that my brother was missing. He was a territorial, a Green Howard. He'd gone to France 1940, never came back. We knew he was missing, so that when all the troops were coming back to Dunkirk, I was studying all the faces, because you didn't have television in those days, it was newsreel and newsprint, studying all the faces till we heard that he'd no known grave, among many, many more. There were about half a dozen of us. One girl lost her brother, he was aircrew. Another one lost at Dunkirk. Another one was blown up by the mine. Another girl lost her husband on the Baltic Run, he was in the Navy. And then another girl lost her 2 Canadian cousins. They'd just come over from Canada. They came to our wedding and they were lost. And that was a group of about 6 of us. We all lost someone. But you shrugged and got on with your life. It wasn't until after, I think, when they all started to come home and the war was over, we all began to realise what we had lost.
The noise was absolutely horrific because there was mortar bombs and shells dropping, and there was the guns at the back of us firing. Some of the lads, like they're in a terrible state of it. You see them dead, hanging on the wire, like, you know. The horrible thing about it was when you saw the wounded and you couldn't do nothing about it, crying for help, and you had to ignore them. I know I lay there at one time on the beach. I thought, bloody hell, I'm 18 in a couple of days' time. I wonder whether I'll live to see my 18th birthday. Here I am, nearly 88.